We're back. It's Water Polo Wednesday with Wes and Clay. He's Wes.
He's Clay.
Oh boy, we're really rocking.
It was
and rolling
a
here
wild
today, guys.
weekend.
It was a long
man.
weekend.
I'm reeling.
Yeah, we're heading into another episode here on YouTube. If you're not already, please consider subscribing, like the video, comment, give us feedback over email, waterpolowednesday@gmail.com. We mentioned last week we kicked off a new offering or service to you guys who are enjoying the show, who would love to have all the stats and scores in a consolidated place. You can have that by going to our YouTube page. There's a join button that you can click, and for $5 a month, we have everything consolidated in partnership with Bluebird. So please consider checking that out. What am I missing, Wes?
A part of the membership, Clay, is that we will be live streaming a press conference in a month leading into the WCC conference tournament.
Into the conference,
so you'd get to be able to see that live for members only, and if not a member, you'd have to wait a few days for us to release it publicly on the platform. So if you're okay waiting, that's fine.
So if you haven't tamed your instant gratification, then there you go. But boy, as Wes mentioned, the talk over the weekend with Wes, we were texting back and forth a lot, is like, how do we rank these teams at this point? Because it's just a round robin, at least from 6 down. It's crazy, but we'll go ahead and kick into the episode. Wes, let's get these slides going.
I swear I'm going to do this right the first time. There you go.
Maybe we should have it up.
I got it ready.
Going All right, final scores of this last week. All right, Pepperdine falls to CBU 15-10. Long Beach State tops CSF 20-9. Davis beats UCI 15-12. Harvard takes down Brown 15-12. UCSD falls to UC Santa Barbara 11-10. Fordham topples Navy 20-14. Long Beach State beats CSU 15-14.
Santa Clara.
We have another
SCU.
What did I say?
CSU.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Santa Clara University, SCU. Thank you, Wes. We have another page of scores, but Wes, like, what's standing out to you here from these ones?
Couple of things really stood out to me. First off, without Adam Chapo, Pepperdine's a very different team, and I'll tell you what, CBU is legit good. Like, they're starting to show who they are yet again, and that's a pretty dominant win, 15-10. I think it was 8-2 at half. Yeah. So they really
8-2, 8-3 maybe.
Yeah,
around there.
Fordham, great. You scored 20 goals. That's not surprising. What's surprising or not great is they gave up 14, not only to Navy, but also GW. And I don't care. That's too many goals. Full stop. That's just too many goals to be given up. So I'm on the fence now. I don't know. I don't know where to put them.
Yeah, they've had some time to tweak their defense over time. Like, we knew they had the offense, but like at this point, like, are they going to be in trouble when they come out to the West?
Love to see Harvard continuing to rise. We called that out. I was wrong on 2 of 3 of my predictions, by the way, but right on Harvard. Santa Barbara is rising. San Diego without Landon Ackerstrom. Look, Adam Chapo, Landon Ackerstrom, when Pepperdine and San Diego respectively don't have those players, they're not the same team. They're just not the same team. We saw the rise of Pepperdine. They beat Long Beach with Chapo. We saw the rise of San Diego as Ackerstrom came back. I don't know if we're going to see them, either of those guys, the rest of this year. Yeah. But I know that if they're out, those teams are significantly less equipped just from a depth perspective and overall talent perspective. Those are arguably the 2 best players on those teams. Long Beach over Santa Clara, 15-14. I got to watch Long Beach twice this weekend. We'll talk about their game against Stanford in just a moment, but Santa Clara continues to go. Long Beach is going the other direction right now. They are sliding, and not just in play. The emotional fortitude of Long Beach appears to have some cracks in its foundation, and they're lacking some inspiration, if you will, is what I would say. So those are kind of the games or at least that page there. Next
Yep.
slide here.
Yeah, last slide. Pacific beats San Jose State by 1, 13-12. UCLA
With Sam Keatley. With
Sorry,
Sam
that's
Keatley.
worth mentioning. Yeah, like there's always that like one player for some of these teams where like, what, is this guy playing or not? So Sam Keatley's been in and out for San Jose State. So Pacific beats San Jose State, and that's San Jose State having Sam Keatley. That's meaningful. Very meaningful.
It's a different type of win.
Yeah, UCLA beats Princeton 23-10. Pepperdine beats Princeton 15-12. Long Beach State falls to Stanford 19-11. And Air Force falls to CBU 17-15.
I'll tell you what, playing at Air Force, which is where the WCC Conference Championship is this year, is a little wild. Like, it adds an element of, being at Mile High and the lack of oxygen. It's a significant advantage for a team to train at that. So Air Force, and you see CBU. I can tell you, like, they won the game and they are in control, but like, that was not an easy game at that. They were huffing and puffing a little bit.
CBU puts on the beef on these guys in the weight room, so it's just demanding more oxygen, huh?
Yeah, it is. Pacific, let's go back to the top. Pacific beating San Jose State. Great win for Pacific. Yeah. Great win. It was balanced. Iogadis only had 1 goal. Visha had 4. Boris Kashagal had 3. It was very balanced.
They need that.
They do. They need that. Buzaglo had 2 in the middle. If they're not balanced and they get too one-dimensional, it hurts them. Iogadis still shot 8 times, so just wasn't on. And that's a good sign for them. When Iogadis isn't on, who else comes up big for them? So good to see Pacific kind of rebound after a couple of tough losses. But San Jose State, man, I'll tell you what, to me, it tells you kind of where middle of the season people are getting tired and fatigued. They did not have a good game. Jopiosh did not have a great game. Look, he only gave up 13 goals, man. That's not a outrageous number of goals, but they're still not scoring enough. I realize Jopiosh did not have a great game. Probably one of his, probably the worst game he's had this year. Every goal he's going to have.
Is that based on like save percentage?
Yeah, save percentage. But I also watched I watched the game. I went back and watched it when I got home late Saturday night. And, at 10 o'clock, I'm still watching water polo. That's great. I say that very sarcastically. Yeah. So to tell everybody like where I'm at.
We're getting vulnerable here on this podcast.
We're getting vulnerable. This is just, we're just exhausted. It was an exhausting weekend with all the ups and downs, which is, look, we want this. We want parity. This is awesome. But San Jose State just not great there. But Jopiosh just not ready. He didn't look sharp. And that just tells you, like, hey, how important of a player he is for that San Jose State team. And he's got to be sharp. That said, that defense has to be better in front of him. Like, no, he was not on. He did not have a good game. But the defense wasn't great either on the perimeter. Pacific did a really nice job attacking their zone and moving in to shoot. I'm going to call this out a little bit in a little bit here. But good for Pacific. San Jose State's got to be better. I think they've got a game against Santa Clara this weekend. Pacific goes down to Pepperdine and at LMU. Caught some good matchups this weekend. We'll see how this WCC shakes out. We've said it all year. The WCC is wide open between injuries and guys not playing well and whatever else. It's going to be a crazy season for WCC.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely. And
what else we got?
A little bit about Long Beach here, Wes.
Yeah. So Stanford. First off, all credit to Stanford. The best 4 quarters I have seen Stanford play in probably 2 years since we've been doing this podcast. It was the best game I have seen them play. They are figuring out the offense. They put up 10 goals. Mind you, their season average is only like 12, right? Or 14. They put up 10 in the first half. It was an onslaught of offense. They didn't hold back. They just kept attacking. Long Beach had no answer. Dude, no answer. Like, they folded. Corbin Stanley had 3 exclusions in the first quarter, so he was done. They put up no goals in the third quarter. Okay. They look so disinterested in playing water polo. It was crazy. And I was texting with Gavin Arroyo, the head coach at Long Beach before. I'm like, let's go, man. Let's see what you got. Like, I want to bring it today. I want a really good show. Like I'm asking him to really bring it so we can get really pumped up. But Stanford brought it, man. Stanford the favorite going into this matchup. We love underdogs. We wanted to see a close game. I didn't think Long Beach was going to win that game, but Stanford with authority. And let's talk about this for a hot second. Their offense, that was the best offense I've seen Stanford have. They figured out that Botan Baloch and Ben Four are their scorers.
Yep.
And they figured out that Georgie can getting the ball to Georgie early, which is counter to what they've always done. Okay, so Stanford has traditionally been use the whole clock. Use it. Use all 30 seconds. Okay? And
which is conservative, which falls in line with their defensive philosophy.
Right, because they don't want to get countered or whatever it is. But here's the thing. If they get the ball to Georgie early into his hands, he can make a move because the drop isn't ready or there yet. So if they get the ball to Georgie early, he can make a move because there's enough time. He's not quick enough to be get it into him in traffic, and he can make a really hard, quick move. He's not a Pete Castillo or a Seichi. He's not a Epa. Epa can really work well in traffic, right? You got to give him enough space. So they figured out, look, get it to him early. And when they do, they get 6-on-5s or goals. If they're unable to get it to him early, they go through a couple of progressions. They move the ball to Jean Piero on the right side, and he goes in and whatever else. But what ends up happening is Botan and Four are kind of bailing out that offense where a lot of the structured stuff is not progressing for them. It's not creating a whole lot. You're seeing late, if they're going late in the shot clock, it's usually because they couldn't get it to Georgie early. But what you're seeing is Botan and Ben Four are unpredictable. So I'm in the middle of this broadcast and I go, Stanford, very patient, wants to work the ball around, use the whole clock. Oh, and there's a goal by Botan out of nowhere. So he's playing very free and open. And Ben Four is starting to play very free and open. And what that's doing, it's a little more, it's far riskier than what we've ever seen a Stanford team under Brian Flax play. But I think what they're realizing is, first and foremost, you have to take advantage of the opportunities when they present themselves. Better to shoot and score with 20 seconds on the clock than wait and have 2 seconds on the clock and miss, if that makes sense. Because you've also limited your opportunities by saying we're only going to shoot in this time block of be 7 seconds and below. Okay? And there may not be as many good looks. And so Botan Baloch went off. Ben Four went off the last time they played. I think he had 6 goals for them the last time they played Long Beach. Or maybe Zelikov. I don't remember. They had a lot of scores last time. This time, Botan went off for 7. And so they're finding these pieces of this triangle between Botan, Four, and Georgie. Now, there are other guys doing work, right? Menetsikanian got some run. It's good to see him in there. Ryan Ole on that 1-2 side is driving, creating movement. He pushes a counter really well. Okay. But those three, that trinity, if you will, that is what's driving Stanford right now. Now, is it going to be enough for Cal this week? I will see. But it was a very impressive offensive performance. They just didn't let off the gas. And it's not about chasing a lead. It's about continuing to score. And then the fourth quarter, they just slowed things down. And I mean, they lost the fourth quarter, but or maybe they didn't. I don't remember. It really didn't matter because they were just putting a hurt on Long Beach at that point. And they just, that was the most impressive win and complete 4 quarters I have seen Stanford play in the last 2 years. I don't remember anything prior to that because I didn't watch it. I wasn't watching a ton of Stanford at that point, but yeah. So that was cool. That was really cool to see. So
yes, 4 had 6 in the first game against Long Beach.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So they're figuring it out, man. It's a wild world we live in.
Yeah. Well, right. Well, moving on.
Yep. All right. WCC standings here.
Standings. Starting with the WCC. We'll start with the bottom and work our way up. So Air
Yeah.
Force, the bottom of the table, and ahead of them is LMU. Ahead of them is Pepperdine. I'll say their win-loss. So
Tied.
Air Force is 0-2, LMU 0-1, Pepperdine 0-1, San Jose State 1-1, Pacific 2-1, Santa Clara 1-0. So mind you, Santa Clara's lost a couple games, but they've only had one game here. While CBU is at the top of the conference currently 2-0.
Yeah, you think CBU can win this conference again? Right now, they're leading regular
by
season.
trajectory. I like to view the season by trajectory and by momentum. And right now, CBU has it. I think we've seen, and Santa Clara is on the rise as well. I don't know if Santa Clara is going to win the conference, but just seeing them at the heels of everyone has been absolutely thrilling. Pacific, San Jose State, Pepperdine. I think those are the three teams that we were looking at early on in the season in our preseason rankings as being at the top contenders. But they've kind of oscillated up and down. And so it's really hard to tell if they're going to rise. I think everyone can rise above CBU right now. Nothing against CBU. They just have more of that talent. But, they just do such a good job of pulling their team together, gelling them. I don't know if it's all strength training or just grit. Talk about culture. Like CBU has a phenomenal culture.
It's a great culture.
One of the most grittiest teams out there, hands down, no question. So we'll see. We'll see how the season
Faith, weights, and polo, man. I need a shirt.
Polo.
I need a shirt.
They need a shirt, and then
they need a shirt. Yeah, it's a Water Polo Wednesday special. Faith, weights, and polo. I actually should credit Kirk Evers because I think he came up with that phrase. But yeah, okay. CBU. You know what CBU and San Jose State have in common that these other teams don't necessarily?
What's that?
Big, tall, strong left-handers. LMU has Baldwin-Eddy, but he's not big, right?
So big, tall, strong.
Right. He's not big, tall, strong. He's crafty, but he's not that big, tall, strong lefty that can shoot over guys. He's more of a placement guy. Nutso and Mitch Keatley, okay, are the engines. When Mitch Keatley has a good game, San Jose State has a good game. When and Sam Keatley as well, but Mitch Keatley plays better, and when he steps up, like it's a big deal for them. When Nutso has a good game, Cal Baptist has a good game because they add something that other teams really don't have. If you look at the way Long Beach played against Stanford, we know that teams that have good lefties give Stanford a lot of trouble. Okay? Well, the lefties for Long Beach, Harper Stewart and Oliver Shudar, they're not big dudes. They're short. They're shorter. Okay? They are not guys who can really rise up above the defense and hammer down, okay, or post somebody up. Nutso can. Keatley can. That is proving to be a formula, a recipe that really is playing off well. Pacific has Popovich. He's a little younger, right? He's a freshman, and so he's developing. But look for him to be very good in the next couple of years. I wouldn't be shocked if we're talking about him next year in the same sentence of the Nutsos and the Keatleys. So that's a really interesting thing to me to watch, is who has these dynamic, taller, lengthier lefties who can rip. That's going to be fascinating to see how that plays out, because I think that's the missing piece for a lot of teams, is that right side.
Yep.
All right.
I agree.
Thanks for paying attention. All right, next up, Big West.
What more is there to say? Same thing goes for our national team. We're looking for a big lefty on our national team, right? It's a common
Ben Lathy,
theme.
baby. Ben Lathy.
Look at Serbia and their lefties on their side, right? Ben Lathy seems to be someone that we're looking at as a great potential for our national team. There you go.
I'd be more surprised if Ben Lathy wasn't on the national team, the Olympic team in 2028, assuming he wants to stay with it. So keep going.
Big West standings, starting from the bottom. Now we're here. Cal State Fullerton 0-1, UC Irvine at the bottom 0-1, UC San Diego 0-1, UC Davis 1-0, UC Santa Barbara 1-0. Long Beach State is at the top right now 1-0.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
This is a weird conference.
Yeah, it's a very strange conference. It's going up and down. I think, Wes, you called out to me earlier that UC Davis is looking like the most consistent team. Not necessarily the best, but at least the most consistent. UC San Diego, without Ackerstrom, is going to struggle to be at the top of their conference. UCI has had a tough go all season. Long Beach State, up and down. Certainly they have a good amount of talent, but do they have the spirit to carry them through to the end? But honestly, UC Santa Barbara, at this point, I think that they have a very real shot of winning their conference. I know
Yeah.
it started with a loss against GW at the start of the season. Everyone's like, oh boy, there goes UC Santa Barbara. Sorry, Wygo, tough season. And now, different story, very different story. They have a big deal of momentum. Zemanian has been the Zemanian.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
That was nice.
For them. And yeah, with him, he's like their Ackerstrom or their Chapo, right? Like if he's on, it's going to be very tough to stop them.
I like the way Santa Barbara plays. When they play Santa Clara, it's when they're patient, and work for shots versus like rushing. When they rush, they get in trouble going the other way. But when they're patient, like and set up Zemanian, they're really good. It's interesting because I think Davis has had the hardest schedule in the country. I think if I were to go back and look, that wouldn't shock me. Certainly outside the MPSF, that they absolutely have. I said Long Beach has the most talent on paper. Period. Their goalie situation with Whitstone and Jeunesse, they can't seem, that phrase where if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have any quarterbacks. It's kind of what this feels like. They have two goalies and they can't really figure out.
Would you say the same for USC?
Except that one of them is the first team All-American. So that's
asterisk.
Yeah, I mean, and the other one played at U20 World Championships. So one went to Senior World Championships and one went to Junior World Championships. I'm just saying,
does the saying carry? That's all.
No. These aren't two world-class goalies competing for one spot. These are two decent goalies, but neither of them have been good this year.
Sure.
And that to me is going to be an Achilles heel for them. I don't know how you win your conference without your goalie being elite. Whitstone, who was at CBU last year, was really good for CBU. Has not been good for Long Beach. I don't know what's going on there. The whole operation, I don't know. But it doesn't matter. I'm being critical of Long Beach because I wanted to see more enthusiasm, more spirited play. It looked like they mailed it in on Saturday. Frankly, it looked like they mailed it in both Saturday and Sunday. Eked out a win against Santa Clara, who had a open look and just kind of muffed the shot to win. Again, they're right there. I just don't like teams that come out and they don't seem to care. Guys, I'm 41 years old and I would give anything to be playing water polo at a high level still. Like, these moments are so fleeting. Attack each day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. And I get it. It's the middle of the season. You're 6-7 weeks in. We're going into week 8. It's tough. It can be tough. It's draining. You got a month until conference championships. It seems like it's forever and away. It'll go so fast. So all of you who listen, please play hard. Santa Barbara is very interesting. And Davis, to me, I think Davis, if I had to pick one of these teams, I think Davis has the best chance of winning this conference. Mm-hmm. They have been the most consistent, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be consistent through the tournament. Got a lot of games left to play. So this is where we're at right now. Snapshot.
Yep.
So,
into
all right.
Mid-Atlantic standings.
Yep.
Mercyhurst is at the bottom, going 0-8. Mount St. Mary's 1-5. Wagner 2-3. Bucknell 4-4. George Washington's going to say GW, and then they couldn't decide. George Washington 5-2. U.S. Naval Academy 5-1. Fordham University at the top 6-0.
Yeah, and they do play. Everybody plays each other twice in this conference, so they'll do it again before their conference championship. And that this year will actually be at Fordham at the Messmer Aquatic Center. So that'll be fun. So they'll all get another shot at each other. All the other conferences only play each other once. So WCC, Big West only play each other once in regular season for conference play. MPSF, Mid-Atlantic, Northeast play each other twice. Mm-hmm. So no surprises here. It's kind of what we thought. So there you go.
Yep. Into
Northeast.
At the bottom, Long Island 0-5, Massachusetts 1-4, Brown 2-3, Iona 3-2, Princeton 4-1, Harvard 5-0.
Yeah.
Harvard at the top.
Yeah, and again, Harvard at the top. They did beat Princeton. They'll take on Princeton again Sunday, November 9th. That should be a really interesting game, 10 a.m. Eastern time. It'll be at Harvard this time, so that'll be spicy. Should be a good crowd there. Love to see it. We'll see how that shakes out. I don't know the tie rules. So if Princeton beats Harvard, what? Yeah, I don't know the tie rules.
Some kind of differential. I don't know.
Say that again.
Some kind of differential.
It's probably right. Yeah. And then Brown is where that conference championship is hosted. So that'd be really exciting there. All right, last one, MPSF.
Last one, MPSF. Number 4, we're starting there. Stanford is 0-2. California, it's Cal 1-1. USC 1-1. UCLA Bruins at the top 2-0.
I don't know why they call it California. I need to go back and research why they call it California, because it's UC Berkeley. You don't call...
Are they the first UC?
That would make sense.
They get to have California.
California. I don't know. I'm just curious. Yeah. This is fascinating. So this weekend will be matchup. So Cal will take on Stanford for the first time this year. And USC and UCLA will play for the first time this year. It's very rare we're this deep into season, and these teams USC, UCLA haven't played each other. Usually before, when Triton Invite was like a playoff format, you'd see that, or MPSF Invite. I think some people thought that USC would have beaten Cal. They've since dropped 2 games to Cal, one in conference, one at the MPSF Invite. So we'll see how this shakes out. USC taking on UCLA for the first time this year. We'll see how Vukovic does against that zone. That's going to be telling to me. And if the right side of USC, so that 4-5 side, can stop Ryder Dodd, Tico Carcelade, Noah Rowe, that's going to be a lot for them to handle. It's a lot for anybody to handle. That's no slight to USC. It's a lot for everybody, as well as can the left side of Lopez Duarte and potentially Vukovic over there. You have Luke Nelson, who's been quite good. Andre Gregorovic, who we're big fans of. They're going to have to take on Lathy, Brinkema, Sherlock, who's come back with vengeance. He looks really good. Mm-hmm. I love that guy, man. I just love the way he plays. He plays with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. He does. The way he attacks the game.
If so many people play with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind, I think it's known to mankind at this point.
No, he's beyond everybody else. He is.
We thought we knew.
Now
he's reached a new
level, a new level of enthusiasm. I love the way he plays. He's aggressive. He attacks. He's not perfect. Nobody is. But I never, ever, ever, when I watch him play, I've never questioned his enthusiasm and drive. He's a model of what I look for in a teammate, because that's a guy I want to play with, because I know he's going to go all out for me. And I'm not saying, that's not to say anything about anybody else. It just looks more that way with him. He's just more demonstrative, more like excited, if you will. So I just love the way he plays. So there you go. Yeah. Fine.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Wes, you can say that.
I don't have to justify myself to you, Clayton.
By the way, yes, UC Berkeley is the first UC school, as it was.
So they get to be
Cal. The University of California system, established in 1868. So you guys get trivia here as well.
Wow. You get history and trivia. I'm sure Everest will send me a note like, how the hell did you not know that? Okay, no longer G-rated. Let's keep going. All right, our 3 stars for the week. Botan Ballo, 7 goals on 8 shots against Long Beach State, 2 assists. This guy was unreal. I mean, I think only one of those was a penalty. These numbers can get inflated if you get 2-3 penalty goals. One of those was a penalty. If you have a chance to go watch this guy play, he doesn't throw seeds. He's not throwing like Vukovic or Lopez Duarte or Yeo Gaddis, but good grief, is he effective. Like, his ability to put the ball right where he wants it is so unbelievably good. It's incredible to watch. Like, I love watching this guy shoot, because it's very unpredictable, which I think makes it really tough for goalies. And 2, he's just surgical. He's just weaving in and out of defenses. He moves really well, exceptionally well without the ball. And if you ever see he or Ben Forer attack, for the young kids out there who watch this, watch when they catch the ball, they're in a position to shoot. oftentimes they get even closer to the goal, knowing that their percentages go up. So Botan Ballo, 7 goals, 2 assists. Bodie Brinkema, 4 goals on 5 shots, 2 assists versus Princeton. Now, look, Bodie Brinkema has been, at one point in time, was the leader in assists for UCLA. He has been consistent. He has been a huge addition to that right side for UCLA. When you can go Bodie Brinkema, 4 players deep, Bodie Brinkema, Chase Dodd, and Lathe, and Wade Sherlock on that right side, that's unreal. That is unheard of for any team in college water polo. And that is the most special group of 4 I think there is in college water polo on any team. It's remarkable. He is a facilitator. He's got a beautiful wrist going near side. He loves that little hezzy wrist. I've seen it firsthand. It's really, really cool. So love the way Brinkema is playing. And Daniel Visha, let's call it out. He put up 4 goals and 1 drawn exclusion in their win against San Jose State. Anybody who puts up 4 goals against Brendan Jopyash, regardless of the day he's having, you got to tip your hat to. And these were not cheap goals. He had a couple of cross cage bar ends. He did a really nice job releasing and getting into space. Was impressed with Visha's work. He's a 5th year at Pacific, one of the elder statesmen there. They're a very young team. Good to see his experience paying off and coming to the party, man. This WCC, it's going to be wild. Big West feels a little more predictable. I mean, we're probably going to be wrong, but Big West feels a little more predictable. MPSF feels very predictable. Northeast and Mid-Atlantic feel fairly close to being predictable. The WCC, wide open to me. So congrats to these guys. You know, I wish we could get you a plaque, maybe a diploma type piece of paper, but instead you get a call out on a podcast.
That's something.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Here we go, Clay.
Here's the fun part.
Oh, God.
Here's the fun part.
This was agonizing. For anybody who cares, this was agonizing.
Week 7 rankings, UCLA at number 1, Cal number 2, number 3 USC, number 4 Stanford, number 5 Fordham. And this is just, I proposed at one point, Wes, we should just have the next 12 teams just on like a wheel. And then there's a wheel that's oscillating around, like animated on this slide for 6 through 16. But here's where we are right now, as best we can do currently, given what we know. At number 6, we put UC Davis rising. Number 7, we put CBU. Number 8, UC Santa Barbara. Number 9, Pacific. And number 10, San Jose State being bumped down. Mind you, San Jose State used to be at that number 6 spot. We had, Davis went up there. Davis has kind of been in this mix for a minute now. Yeah. Pepperdine's been bumped out. UC San Diego has been bumped out. Who else? But Pacific's kind of like been like right
UCI has been bumped out. UCSD, UCI, Long Beach. Pepperdine. Pacific was out last week, back in this week with a nice win over San Jose State. Davis, to me, has been the clear-cut strongest, consistent team. There's a lot of eye test going on here. CBU has been very good. They continue to rise to me. I'm sure Layson would prefer that they weren't in this list because he wants to be an underdog all the time, which I like that. I like that. Big shout out to Dan Layson.
Yeah.
I will also say that this Fordham road trip next week starts on Tuesday of next week, and we're gonna have a couple of special interviews and breakdowns as the week goes along, because I think this is the most fascinating week of college water polo, not only with starting really on Thursday of this week, so Thursday to the following Sunday. Fascinating. You'll have Fordham taking on Long Beach on Tuesday. I think that they win that game. Then they go to Cal on Thursday. I think we'll talk about that. It's going to be pretty rough. Then they have kind of UC Merced Friday. They have Stanford on Saturday. And then San Jose State on Sunday. And I know they're going to be tired, but San Jose State, hey, they're going to have something to prove. After that week, you could very easily see Fordham out of the top 10. You could also see Fordham in the top 2. That's how volatile that week could potentially be for a team like Fordham coming out here. I am not convinced that they're a finished product or at the level they need to be yet, because their defense has not shown me that they can play 4 full quarters. They had a couple of good quarters against Navy, but they still gave up 14 goals. And I am just not convinced their defense is where it needs to be an elite contender in water polo, in collegiate water polo right now. I think Long Beach could give them a hard time with their center presence. Mark Deek, a freshman center defender, has been excluded 3 times in every single game this season. And all things considered, all things considered, their competition hasn't been dominant centers. Right? So I am curious to see where this goes. I was more sold on the idea of Fordham early on. Their performance thus far has not shown me that they're an elite contender that could potentially make an NC2A finals type run to win a semifinal. It doesn't mean they won't do it. It doesn't mean that they can't. They're just not there yet. Mind you, they have a freshman center defender, a freshman lefty, a freshman center, a freshman like left side right-handed attacker, and a new goalie who's not a freshman, but he's new to the system. So there's a lot of pieces they're trying to put together in a short order to make sure they're ready to go. I know that Coach Ilya, Coach Brian are going to be hammering them this week. They don't have a game this weekend, so it's all prep as they prepare for Long Beach. They'll get a full week and a half kind of to prepare for Long Beach. But that week, next week, it's exciting. It's going to be volatile. It's going to be fun to watch. And hopefully we get some good games out of it. But I like Davis here. I like CBU. Again, I think Davis and CBU currently the front runners for their respective conferences. Santa Barbara on the rise. Pacific with a good win there. San Jose State. They're going to have to find their spirit. They're going to have to find their heart and soul, because they got to start playing better together. So high expectations I know they have for themselves there at the Spartans do.
So here we go.
Yeah. All right. You got anything else there?
No, that's it. Water polo exchange. We'll hear from you.
Yeah. Jeez. All right.
Week 17 matchups. October 16th, 12 p.m. Pacific, Santa Clara at CBU on ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
October 17th at 6 p.m. Pacific, Long Beach State at UC San Diego, again on ESPN Plus. October 17th as well, 3 p.m. Pacific. Cal is facing Stanford on overnight with Wes Kading on the mic.
Yeah.
Same day again, 1 p.m. Pacific at Pepperdine on ESPN Plus with yours truly, Claytron, on the mic. And then next day, October 18th, 1 p.m. at Santa Clara at San Jose State University, ESPN Plus, Wes on the mic. And October 19th, 1 p.m. Pacific at LMU, again, ESPN Plus with Clay. So we got a lot of Clay and West this weekend. We haven't had a doubleheader with both of us on it. I don't think ever. So,
well, we'll have 2 of them. We'll have we'll have Friday and Sunday together, because I'm actually on the Stanford Davis game, which I didn't put on this list. But Stanford Davis, yeah. But to that degree, I think Santa Clara at CBU is going to be interesting. CBU is a very physical team. I don't think Santa Clara has seen a team as physical as CBU. So we'll see how that shakes out. I also think Long Beach, San Diego. Where is San Diego at without Ackerstrom? And where is Long Beach at mentally and emotionally? I don't know. That's a Friday night game. That's going to be fascinating. Cal at Stanford, always a good game. First time we've seen these two play each other. Totally opposite styles. Cal more similar to USC. Stanford coming out of their shell a little bit. Pacific at Pepperdine. Clay, you get Pacific all weekend. You got Pacific at Pep and Pacific at LMU.
I get Pacific's road trip to Malibu and to Westchester. I always forget what it's called. Westchester. Yeah, that'll be really interesting. The story for both of those is, for Pepperdine, I feel like they were meshing really well. They got Chapo, gave him a bump, but then Chapo's out and they fall to CBU, which I'm sure was disappointing for them. Yeah. I bet you that if you're talking to them, they're like, yeah, we'll take CBU. Underestimated them once again, as they did a couple years ago. So are they going to have the heart to rally back and face a now rising Pacific team that was struggling to find their identity outside of Girgadish, and now they have some other guys who are scoring more goals. So
Yeah.
that's going to be very difficult for them to take on, but they are in their home pool. So I think it's can Pacific continue to expand production outside of Girgadish, and can Pepperdine come together and rally with a lot of heart and patience, and will. I think Gall has been scoring a little bit more recently as well, which is, we need to get outside of their top goal scorers there too. So that'll be really interesting to see.
Cool. Yeah, and Santa Clara at San Jose State. So Santa Clara getting CBU and San Jose State. That's going to be. I'm excited for that. That one to be at San Jose State. I'll be on that call. So busy weekend of calls for us, Clay. Really looking forward to it. Feel very privileged that we get the opportunity to do these games. It is a lot of fun. I'm pumped, man. We're in the thick of conference play. It's a great time of year. It's a great time of year for water polo. So, you could spend all day listening to us, 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 6 p.m. There you go. Yeah. And then the next day.
Like you've always wanted to.
Like you've always wanted to, and so all good. Want to thank everybody for joining us today. As a reminder, the member-only subscription, just hit join and become a member. It is $5 a month. And so we appreciate all the support to all of you who have joined us. We'll call out Breck Winey and Fred Kohler as our first two members to join us. I want to give them some love. So thank you for joining our membership and supporting us. We have 2 interviews today, Clay. 2 interviews. The first interview coming right up is Bodie Brinkema from UCLA. And we'll hide who the second one is, so you're going to have to watch. We'll be right back with our first interview right after this. Joining us now, Bodie Brinkema, the lethal right-hander from the right side at UCLA, man. Bodie, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, dude, it's good to see you. First off, this is really cool for us to have you. I know how busy you guys are, especially you're 18-0 this season. You're undefeated again, though I think this time last year you may have had 1 loss. How has this year been a little bit different for you guys? It's a different team every year than maybe your freshman year. For you personally, it's another year of experience, but like, how has it been this year compared to last year?
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's a new team, new group, new dynamic. But I mean, we had the whole off season. Some guys were in Europe. Some guys, we all went to WUGS, World University Games, those who were not part of the senior team. So, that group got to grow even closer with some of the new incoming freshmen. So that was good. And then just slowly, just through preseason and then the start of season, we're just chipping together closer together, finding that chemistry between us all. And I mean, it's all pretty much coming together, and it's just going to grow closer as the year goes on. And we're just excited to see where that takes us.
For sure. And look, you're part of a class with you, Pete, Ben, and Ryder that arguably the best 4 ever compiled in a single class. You, for a long time, led UCLA in assists. Ben's kind of overtaking you there. You got 30 assists on the season. You play a role that is vital to any team, a right-hander who can attack but also facilitate. Is that something you planned on playing? Was that always who you were, or is this new for you coming into UCLA? Because I noticed you got 32 goals too, so it's not like you're not scoring. Like you're doing it all.
I mean, yeah. So I think I played around kind of like through high school, but Brett Ormsby at JSerra. I played center defender, I think, for my like sophomore year a little bit. Kind of there on the right side, and then by senior year of high school, I was pretty much strictly on the right side, because then we had guys like Ryder, Tosh Pauksa, Taylor Bell that were on the left side, and I mean me on the right side passing to all of them. They can all move great. So I mean, I kind of found my spot on the right side towards the last 2 years of high school, and then I got picked up for college to play on the right side, and I think I fit well there, and I'm grateful to be able to be here, and then also get the opportunity through high school to put me in this position, playing on the right side. Yeah.
And you had Brett Ormsby, who for my money, probably a top 2 high school coach in the country behind maybe only Jack Coker. For what that's worth. Was it similar playing for Brett as it is for Adam? Because, Brett went through that UCLA program as well.
I mean, yes, it definitely is. It definitely is pretty similar with Brett, but then at the same time, it's like it's like we're much younger in high school, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, it's definitely a little bit similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right on, man. So you're now in your go ahead, Clay. Yeah,
I was going to ask, like, going back to the transition from center defender to the right side. I was curious, like, was that ever a conversation that you had about making that transition, or was it like, all right, you're moving to right side, no questions asked, or was it because that he knew you were such a great facilitator on the right side that he wanted your strength to be there, or that you also had someone else coming in that could fulfill that center defender role? Maybe both.
Yeah, I don't think it was a direct conversation, but I just started playing over there, and then we also had Maddox Arlette was part of the JSR team, and he was basically he was our main defender the last our senior year, and then Will Schneider would also defend when he wasn't playing center. So so we had a strong center defender presence. So I mean, then me on the right side.
Yeah, it's incredible. And so now you've come into UCLA. Obviously, you won a national title last year, losing only 2 games all year. This year, you're undefeated. Is it easier this year, or is it just the same grind? Forget about last year. We got to do it all over again, type of thing. How do you keep that motivation? How do you keep that intensity, knowing that you've won already and you haven't lost since? Frankly, yeah, this is crazy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's just, it definitely hasn't gotten easier. It's going into the same game with the same mindset, or every game with the same mindset. Just knowing, I mean, we've talked about it all season, just how we have a target on our back coming off of the national championship. It's like every team's going to give us their best shot. So, I mean, you can't kind of hold back at all. Otherwise, it's like, I mean, they're fighting for it. So
sure,
we can't change anything. Yeah.
And you got a heck of a challenge coming up this weekend, taking on USC for the first time this year. Can't remember the last time. It was mid-October. That was the first matchup that USC UCLA had. But nonetheless, you haven't seen them yet this year. What's the preparation like for you guys going into a game like that?
I mean, yeah, we've been. We prepare for all these teams, and this week's just the final prep before we play them for the first time, and I mean, just everything we got for this weekend, and then we'll go to the games after that, Cal and Stanford after that. So pretty much just all preparation for USC this weekend, just getting ready for them.
Do you find that you're preparing like very specifically for like this team, or is it like we have our foundation that we're building upon week after week after week?
Yeah. So I mean, it's more about ourselves, our team, just focusing on ourselves. Like that's how we go into each game, just focusing on ourselves, our plan, our details. And then obviously we just depending on the other teams, we have to adjust, but more just focusing on ourselves and how we play as a team.
Sure. You've got a few guys who are pretty good on your team. You get to play with a couple of guys. Yeah, you got Ryder, who, okay, we've heard of him. You got Chase on your side of the pool with Ben, with Wade Sherlock. What have you learned from Ryder and Chase, who have that Olympic experience, or maybe, Tico, who's been part of their national team in Brazil for a while?
Right. Yeah. I think probably one of the biggest things is the nonstop movement, the constant, the physicality, the constant movement is pretty much one of the biggest things I noticed from those guys. Is they're always moving, they're not sitting still. And that helps bring up the play in the pool with everyone else, and kind of it affects everyone else. So I mean, we all kind of start doing that, and it kind of, I don't know. I mean, it helps us all, and it raises the level of play. So yeah, and then with Tico, just the communication, the pride, pretty much.
Yeah,
Tico is very prideful and very competitive. So it raises the level of play and practice and games.
I laugh because I love Tico. I love the way he's just I mean, you talk about never stop moving. That guy is just, I think he must swim in his sleep. It's incredible how much he moves.
Yeah.
But very cool, man. Now you on that right side, which at the end of my career, I started as a defender as well, so this is kind of fun for me to hear. And then I moved to the right side as well, because for me, I can't say this about you, but I wasn't the best shooter, but I loved throwing dimes. Like, it was as good of a feeling to me to throw an assist to a catch, shoot, goal, or just like threading the needle. Is that something you really take?
Trivia, real quick. I got to say it. In the first year of National League.
Oh, no.
That's right. The first year of National League, 2015, I want to say, Wes was the leader in the league in assists.
Oh, wow. I
At 31 years old, no less.
So 30-year-old Wes was the Bodie Brinkema of National League.
Of National League, yeah. So that being the case, I really enjoyed that. Is that something that really like fills you up, that like there's a lot of gratification for you to make those assists, guard usually the toughest player on the other team? Is that something like you pride yourself on?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, we're all about defense at UCLA. So getting a stop is just as good as, or getting a block is just as good as getting a goal. Making a pass is just as good as scoring. It's even better at times, especially when we have all these guys that can move and make themselves open on the left side of the pool, or even at center too. But yeah.
Wonderful. Now I'm going to transition from UCLA. I want to talk about this past summer. You obviously went to World University Games, but I got to see you play at U20 World Championships, which to me was a real spectacle. More competitive, I think, than even senior World Championships because of the way they set up those divisions. You had some pretty interesting games. You had Montenegro, you had Croatia, you had Hungary in your group. What a group. You go on to win the silver medal. Dude, talk to us about that experience for you. Like, what was that like for you, start to finish? Feel free to talk for a while here. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this.
I mean, yeah, it's incredible going into the tournament. I mean, really have nothing to lose because the U.S. hasn't placed that high in a long time. They've never placed that high.
Never been to the finals before.
Yeah. So it's a great accomplishment. And just going into the tournament, we wanted to get on the podium, and we did that. And then we wanted to win it at that point, getting that close to the end. And I mean, just coming off of that loss to Hungary earlier in the tournament, and then being able to come back, beat them, and then ultimately advance to the finals. I mean, it was just incredible to play with those guys, play with a bunch of UCLA guys as well. And then old teammates, obviously Schneider. Yeah, I mean, just great experience to get to the top.
Were you nervous at all going into the quarterfinal versus Serbia? What was the mindset there?
I mean, I think, yes, definitely. Just Serbia is a great team, and
it's Serbia. It's like Serbia. Like, okay, like they're gonna be good.
Yeah, and we haven't beat Serbia, and I think in any of our national team levels. And I don't know when the last time it was, but it was a long time. I forget what Coker said, but it was a long time since we beat Serbia. So that was a great feeling coming off that win.
And then you take on Hungary. You beat Hungary after losing to them in the semifinal, and then you go to the final versus Spain. Do you remember it? Was it blurry for you at all? Was it really like joyful? What were your feelings like going into those semifinals and finals?
I mean, yeah. I mean, just going into the semifinals, we were pretty pumped coming from Serbia pretty much. And we were just ready to go after that. And that felt like one of the big obstacles is it's Serbia. We haven't beat them. And that was great. And then going into the finals, it's like, shoot, we made it this far. It's like, we're on the podium, but we might as well win it. And unfortunately it didn't go our way, but we gave it our best shot. And I mean, yeah, we got second, but it's pretty sweet to play at that level.
Yeah.
I
mean, you're the only American team to ever do it.
Yeah.
I was going to say few people have, cool. You're the only team to ever do it. Not a few. They're 13 or 14, whatever that roster size was. So, all right, you've won CIF, you've won JOs, you've won silver medal at U20 World Championship. Not JOs. I thought you were part of the team with. I'm gonna have to edit that out. You got silver at
Your sore
U20s.
spot, Wes.
Yeah, see, you got silver at World University Games. You've won a national championship. I mean, it's got to be impossible to pick. Any experience stand out to you more than another?
I mean, yeah, definitely. Obviously, NCAA's it's incredible to win just with the group of guys you train with all year round, compete with every day, pretty much. So that's a great experience. And then that's just pretty much another level coming from CIF. It's like CIF's the same, but just that's the high school level, and then the collegiate level. They're great. It's a great feeling, and then obviously being the first to get second at Junior Worlds is still a great feeling. First would have been a bit better, but to be the first to do that is special, and it's I mean, I'm so happy to be part of that.
I'll tell you this. Just winning a silver or a gold in any international event, regardless if it's the first or it happens all the time, it's very unique to you as a person, right? Because you'll never get another chance to go to U20 Worlds because you're going to be too old. And it's amazing. So hold on to that, remember that fondly, as I'm sure you will, just as I think about like things that Clayton and I have won together. It's still, even if they're not the biggest tournaments in the world, though some were pretty big, it's something we look back on, I think, very fondly in that whole experience. So very cool. Clay, I could go all day, buddy. So
No, I never want to ruin your flow, man. You always have good questions. Talk to us a little bit about a day in the life at one of those international tournaments, because you're playing, so much, but there's this weird balance of like trying to maintain your fitness, but also staying nice and fresh and tapered. Like, can you walk us through like what your daily like cadence was like as you like how would you eat, like how would you train leading up to games, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, so obviously we got to Croatia about a week before the tournament started, so we were common training with Croatia and Hungary before the tournament actually started, and then
is that like a couple sessions a day while you're there at that point?
We would have like training, and then we'd have like a little break, and then we'd either have like some sort of scrimmage or 6-on-5 against each other, just training with the other team. Yeah, so that would be pretty much just leading up to the first day of the tournament, and then it would be either a game every day or every other day. So if we had the day in between, we'd go we'd practice a little bit more than the days we had games, because the days we had games would be a little bit later in the evening than like we do here. It'd be probably like 7 p.m. or 6 p.m., a little bit later than what's typical in California. So we'd practice a little bit in the morning, come back, eat, get some rest, and then have our meeting, and then go get ready for the game. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we do the same thing just leading up to the end, just depending what time the game is and everything. Maybe not have a little swim in the morning. Yeah.
Would it only be water time, or would you guys ever do like any resistance or weight training as well to kind of keep your strength up?
Really just
intense weights, but sometimes.
Yeah. Just, I mean, a little bit before, but once the tournament actually started, no, just pool pretty much. Yeah.
Yep. Got it. And then I am very curious, totally different topic. Couldn't help notice your nice setup behind you and your backdrop. For those who are just listening, he's got very well framed hats, UCLA, of course, on either side. But on the lighter blue over your, I think, right shoulder, I don't know if the camera's reversed for me. No, other way. Yeah, the lighter blue one. There's a hat behind it that has some scrambled eggs on it. These golden leaves, looks like a military hat. Is there a story behind that one?
No, it's just a hat I picked up in Big Bear.
Awesome. Great.
Yeah.
Had to ask.
No story behind it. Yeah.
We dive deep into every aspect of your life, Bodie.
We try to pay attention.
We try. There's a lot to say here. Thank you, Bodie. Very cool, man. I'm looking at the stats here as we transition back more to UCLA. That right side between you, Ben Lathy, Chase, and Wade has put up 110 goals this year. It's the most prolific foursome, I think, in college water polo on any one side.
That's awesome.
And what's crazy is that the four
sweet.
y'all could play at the same time because you guys are so versatile. It really is a tremendous thing to watch. And as great as Ryder is, and I know he draws a lot of gravity, right? He takes a lot of attention, which opens things up for you guys. That is prolific. The fact that the four of you have compiled 110 goals, and we're not even halfway through your conference play yet. You're going to get some more conference play. You're going to get tournament play. I think it's a foregone conclusion. You'll be maybe not foregone, but you're going to sew up the at large here in the next 3 games basically. So really, really incredible for you, Bodie. It's this part of the show we want to open it up to you. And we say the studio is yours. Is there anything you'd like to share with people, with listeners, with kids out there that's like, hey, how you got to where you are and what it took, or anything at all? Like, it's your platform, man.
I mean, yeah, just ultimately, I mean, even if it's not water polo, just finding what you love to do, and if it happens to be water polo, that's great. And just I mean, sticking to it as much as you can, and then if you do that, it will open up many options and help you get to where you want to be. So yeah, just stick to what you love to do.
I love it. Well, thank you again, Bodie. Again, a real pleasure. I know you've got school, you're busy, so thank you for taking the time, man. We'll talk to you soon. I'm sure we'll see you again soon.
Sweet. Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Bodie. Yeah.
All right.
And that's Tommy Kiesling, everyone. Tommy, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Yeah. It's great to have the Aggies being so in the conversation this season.
It is great.
They never have been before.
11 players changed on that team, and Layson has brought them together. I mean, Kiesling was a staple for them last year. He continues to be, obviously, this year. Great to have him on. Appreciate him joining. I'm really excited for Davis this year. Like it's good for polo. It's really good. So great to have him. It was awesome. That was really cool. Kind of giddy about it. All right. Well, that's it for us today. Long episode. Hope you're enjoying all the content, trying to get you as much as possible. We'll have our predictions later this week. Members only get access for the first 24 hours, and then we'll have those released to everybody else later on. Be sure to follow and all the good things. And thanks for all the commentary and feedback. And for all those members who have joined. Remember, everybody, life is short.
Score goals.
Score goals. Thanks, Clay. Have a good night, everyone. All right, welcome back, everyone. Tommy Kiesling joining us here, the UC Davis standout, leader in goals the last 2 years. One as a redshirt freshman and now as a redshirt sophomore. Tommy, thank you for being here, man.
Thank you for having me. Me.
Of course, dude. Appreciate you taking the time. I know your schedule is really busy. Obviously, Davis has been, frankly, outside of the top 4 teams, the most consistent team this year. And you guys have climbed in the rankings. And, by our measure, which Water Polo Wednesday, which, that's all we really care about here. You guys have climbed up into kind of the 6th spot. And that's a pretty nice place to be, all things considered. Now, I know Coach Layson really prefers to be underdogs. I think he would prefer that you guys weren't ranked, and he can tell you how much you should be and fight for it. Talk to us about what's driven your success this year and you continuing to lead in goals, but what is it that's driving you guys to stay so consistent and play so well for long stretches of time?
I mean, consistency is something we've really focused on this year. We've sort of tried to lead some in-team leadership a lot. We have meetings just as a team, no coaches every week, and we really try to have the same warm up together, same warm down, same cool down. And just being consistent every day and just taking pride in that and really focusing on just being consistent with everything in game and also as a team,
Yeah, for sure. Now, you come from the Menlo School playing for the great Jack Bowen, who I've known for some time. And what a great coach. You go from that to Layson, very different styles. What drew you to Davis and Coach Dan Layson? Coach Layson's not quite like a lot of other coaches. So what really drew you to that program and to Davis itself?
Well, I do have family that went to Davis. My
Okay.
mom and my uncle both went to Davis, which was one of the factors that drew me. But also, I think the biggest thing that first like clued me into Davis is, if you remember, my JV coach my freshman year was Dante
Dedamonte.
yeah, which
Yeah.
was kind of a crazy coincidence. I talked to him and he was like, I think Davis is a great spot for you, and
Mm-hmm.
that's part of what really drew me to like made me notice Davis at first. And then
Mm-hmm.
I just talking with the coaches and coming on a visit and seeing the program, it seemed like something that's really focused on winning. We work hard, and something just I wanted to be a part of. So
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Dante Dedamonte may have been the greatest collegiate coach that we've ever seen, coaching at Stanford for a long time, MA, and just recently passed a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so really that's a unique opportunity for you there to play for him. Obviously, Davis has been big part of the Big West for the last few years. You're making the transition now to WCC next year. Is there what is that feeling like? Is there any feeling about that, or is it like, look, we got to play the games anyway, just go out and win our conference and so be it?
I mean, the only thing that it's really is motivating us, we want to win the Big West this year because it's our last year in the conference, and it's the only real thing. Otherwise, we're just playing the games, and we'll play our WCC opponents next year and try to win that conference,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not a big change for us, I think. Just different opponents, different
opponents. WCC a little bit stronger top to bottom than the Big West has been historically. But San Diego following your lead, coming over in 2 years. So that's, that'll be interesting, but understand the motivation to certainly win that Big West. Now, you guys have had the toughest schedule in the country. UC Davis, for those of you out there who don't know this, UC Davis has had the toughest schedule in the country outside of the MPSF teams, because the MPSF teams play each other. You've played UCLA. You played Pepperdine when they were 7. You've played Stanford, San Jose State twice, Cal. You've played Pepperdine twice, UCLA again. So you've played UCLA twice, Long Beach when they were number 8, San Diego, Santa Clara, USC, LMU, UCI. You've just started conference. You just had your first conference game against UCI. Like, has that been like a roller coaster? Has it been fun for you? Like, talk about playing. Basically, you're only playing ranked opponents, which no other team has that kind of, frankly, that kind of consistency in their schedule. Has that been something that like you were excited about, or how has that been, going through that gauntlet of games?
I mean, it's definitely tough and tiring, but it's also like those close games, those games against tough opponents are like, those are the best games to play. So it's definitely been a lot of fun, and it's been a grind, but it's super exciting to see our schedule. I feel like we always have a tough schedule. I mean, Dan likes to put us against the best opponents all the time. So, and that's just, those are the most fun games. So.
Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, Coach Layson doesn't shy away from competition. That's not really in his nature. I think he likes that the optics of, hey, we're going to go try and take down some big name teams. He's not going to shy away from it. I think he also understands that the conference tournament is really what matters. So potentially that's what he feels prepares you best. Now, you do have a pretty big game this weekend. As I mentioned, you beat UCI in your first Big West game on last Friday. You've got Cal State Fullerton, your second Big West game on Friday. And then you go to Stanford, Stanford, again, which I'll be on the call for that. So I'm looking forward to seeing you play again. I think I've had like 4 or 5 of your games. I think I've done more Davis games than anybody else to this point, which exciting, right? So how do you stay focused on Fullerton without looking ahead to Stanford? What does this weekend kind of hold for you? How do you approach it with 2 games, a Big West game, and then of course Stanford on Sunday?
I mean, it's you got to take it one game at a time, and we'll focus on Stanford once we're done with the Fullerton game. But it's 2 tough opponents, obviously. Even Fullerton's not someone to underestimate. That's
what I'm saying. Like, Fullerton has the potential to beat you.
Yeah,
they're a good team.
I think if we're not on our game, then we can. This is definitely a game we could lose, but it's also, so we have to be prepared for that. and they're not a team to underestimate for sure. And but also, I mean, Stanford, that's a game like obviously they're a talented group, and we're not favored to win that game, but we think we'd have try our hardest again. We're never beaten before we start the game, I think, is the philosophy of our team. And so we're trying to, we think we can win if things go right for us. So, just prepare as best as we can.
Yeah. If you're balanced in your approach and you're efficient in your offense, certainly anything can happen.
Yeah.
Talk to us about kind of like your warm-up routine, like what your team has, some unique stuff you guys do, and you're very together. And I'd love to hear about kind of what it is you guys do, if you're okay sharing it, and where all of this came from.
I mean, we had a meeting before the season. We're like trying to focus on togetherness. So we do our team like warm up all together in sync. Like we do our dry land to start in sync, and then we have we do the warm up we've done for years together, and then it's like shooting, passing, and then we also now do a warm down together, like all together, which is something we haven't done in the past, and I think it helps with the like togetherness and the chemistry of the team a little bit, and we're just thinking that every little bit helps to make us the best team. And so it's just like doing, especially in sync, on we like do jumping jacks and push-ups.
That's what I was saying. I watch you guys, and everything is like perfectly coordinated, like it's a routine for you.
Yes, yeah, it's been like that this year for sure.
Yeah, I love it. And look, I'm all for togetherness. I think some of the best teams I've ever been on maybe weren't the most talented, but we did a lot of stuff like that together as well. So like, I have a lot of respect for that approach. You have 11 new players on this roster from last year.
Yeah.
The second largest turnover of any team in the country, behind only Pacific. Talk to me about what that's been like, integrating so many new personalities. You've got foreigners, you've got guys from Santa Cruz. I mean, really from all over. How has that been for you and the leaders? I mean, you being a third year in the program, how has that been for you guys?
I mean, yeah, it's more new people than we've ever had. That's for sure. I mean, my class was only 5 new people. It's definitely a big turnover, but we just try to like incorporate everyone into the culture we have here. And so it's just like, lead by example, and people usually follow because it's like a great feeling to be part of this team, I think. And so people usually will assimilate into what we have going.
Yeah, very welcoming culture, but also, hey, we're structured, and here's kind of we have a certain way we do things, right?
Yeah.
At Davis, for sure. So it's very intentional, is what I'm hearing. You're very intentional about kind of the way you do things, how you do things. I know you've also got Palavra from Croatia, so you got a Spaniard, you got a Croatian. You guys are really diverse in who comes out to kind of Davis. Talk to me about your schedule upcoming. You've got obviously a couple of big games, as we mentioned. You've got Fullerton, Stanford. You've got UC San Diego, Santa Barbara, Long Beach. Any one of those you're kind of like eyeballing, like, okay, this is the game we really feel where we're gonna prove that we're the best.
I mean, it's definitely right now we're sort of taking it one game at a time. I haven't, so I'm trying to think too much about those future games, but I think, I mean, a big game for us is definitely going to be that San Diego game, because they're definitely a rival of ours, we'd say, back from the WWPA days. And so there's definitely some, we're definitely rivals, and that's going to be a tough game that we're looking to win. But, every conference game matters so much, and they're always super close games every time. So, those are definitely games to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's an exciting season. Obviously the conference tournament is the big one, because that's where you can kind of punch your ticket, if you will, to the NC2A tournament. Talk to me about how, last year I thought maybe you were good enough to win it, and you didn't. I mean, UCI went undefeated in conference play, and they didn't win it. So no guarantees here, even if you go undefeated in conference play. Talk to me about the approach you guys want to take, and maybe we have you on later to see if it's consistent. But going into the end of the year here, what does that look like in terms of preparing for the Big West Conference tournament?
I mean, it's all about just like we have a young team, and I mean, getting experience in these conference games and games against these tough opponents are crucial for, we're looking to like maintain poise in those second in situations and learning how to win games. And that's a big thing for us, is to just like use these next games to to learn how to win, and so we can carry that over to the conference tournament and just be ready for that. And obviously, we train really tough here. We put in a lot of hours, and we're hoping that that will pay off this year and in the conference tournament. Yeah.
Anything you guys do that you really love when you talk about training tough, the tough work that Coach Latham puts you through, anything that you're like, oh, I love this. Like what really fills up your cup as you guys get going?
I mean, I just love when we're doing a tough swim set and I hear one of my teammates on the wall yelling at us to keep going. And that really just like, or that feeling after the swim sets suck, but the feeling after when you're tired, but of accomplishment is definitely the best part of it, or one of the best parts.
I'm curious. I want to go a little more personal. How'd you get into water polo? I mean, you're a standout player for Davis. I just curious, like, what drew you to water polo early on when you were younger?
Yeah, I did swimming for a long time, and my older brother started playing water polo before me, and he played at like Burlingame High School. He didn't pursue it in college, but he was the one who was like, I don't really like swimming that much, for swim team that much, but water polo sounds like my mom would let me do water polo instead, which is so much more fun than swim team. So I switched over when I was like 9 and never looked back. And,
it's like swimming, but with a ball, which is way more enjoyable.
Yeah.
How old were you when you like kind of fully embraced water polo and that you knew like, okay, this is what I want to do. I really love this.
Probably like 14s, 12s. It definitely became my number one sport pretty quickly. I grew up playing a lot of sports. I mean, I played baseball for a long time, but
I was going to say you throw like a baseball player.
Yeah, I kept pitching until freshman year of high school, but after that, I definitely only focused on water polo. But yeah.
Amazing. All right. Well, cool, man. Tommy, thank you so much for kind of joining the show here. Would we kind of open it up now for you to kind of give your advice or anything you'd like to share? As we like to say, the studio is yours. Talk to us about anything you want. This is kind of your platform for you to use.
I didn't prepare.
That's the point. It's supposed to be off, a little bit unusual, if you will.
I mean, I'm just. I think it's great. The Water Polo Wednesday is finally bringing some sort of like media to water polo. I think just building the sport, because I think water polo is such a great sport to watch, like even for fans, and it's sort of sad that it doesn't have the broad appeal of some other sports, And so I'm glad that you guys are doing something to bring attention to the sport.
For sure. Well, we're happy to do it. Appreciate the compliment there. That's certainly not what we are like anticipating or asking for here. But Tommy, great to have you on, man. It's been really a lot of fun for me to commentate on your games. Looking forward to doing again on Saturday versus Stanford. Good luck this weekend, buddy. And if there is anything you need, you've always got a home here. You're welcome back anytime. Hopefully we'll have you on the show as we get closer to the conference tournament.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Sure. Thank you for taking the time.
And that's Tommy Kiesling, everyone. Tommy, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Yeah. It's great to have the Aggies being so in the conversation this season.
It is great.
Never have been before.
11 players changed on that team, and Layson has brought them together. I mean, Kiesling was a staple for them last year. He continues to be, obviously, this year. Great to have him on. Appreciate him joining. I'm really excited for Davis this year. Like it's good for polo. It's really good. So great to have him. It was awesome. That was really cool. Kind of giddy about it. All right. Well, that's it for us today. Long episode. Hope you're enjoying all the content, trying to get you as much as possible. We'll have our predictions later this week. Members only get access for the first 24 hours, and then we'll have those released to everybody else later on. Be sure to follow and all the good things. And thanks for all the commentary and feedback. And for all those members who have joined. Remember, everybody, life is short.
Score goals.
Score goals. Thanks, Clay. Have a good night, everyone.